What's up, everybody? Thanks for joining me today for the Social Media Video Marketing and Advertising Strategy 2020 and Beyond. How to distribute and amplify video content to a highly targeted audience. So without further ado, let's jump into the strategy. Who am I? My name is Tyler Dolbin, and I'm a content creator and digital marketing and advertising nerd. I'm also the owner and operator of Pleighties LLC, which is a full-service digital agency that handles content creation, distribution, and paid amplification online. Who is this video and information for? This strategy and information is for businesses and brands who are looking to increase their visibility locally, online, and on social media. I'm focused on helping established businesses and brands with great products and services increase the attention and awareness with their existing customer base, as well as tapping into cost-effective strategies for finding new potential customers and clients. How did I discover this? For the past 2 years, creating and curating content on a daily basis, I learned the frustration of relying solely on an unpaid organic distribution strategy. What happened was it spent a lot of time and effort on my social media marketing and advertising with a lack of real business results. When I was relying solely on the Facebook algorithm to reach existing and potential new clients, I realized it wasn't efficient or effective. Ultimately, I knew there had to be a better way. So, after consuming hours of industry podcasts, webinars, YouTube videos and tutorials, case studies, calls with Facebook ad advisors, free training programs and resources courtesy of Google, Facebook, and Instagram, I began to see the principles, similarities, and best-in-class practices behind how the best brands and businesses were operating and being successful on the platforms. What's the biggest problem for brands and businesses? Over the past 12 plus years, I've learned and realized that at the end of the day, what it all comes down to is getting the attention and awareness of the end consumer. Before we begin to dive into the strategies, I just want to put this disclaimer out there. This information and strategy is not intended to be a magic pill that'll help save your business or brand if it's not doing well or your products or services are lackluster or subpar. These strategies, tactics, and insights I'll discuss will help you if your biggest issue is lack of attention or awareness of your products and services locally, online, and on social media. So, before we begin the video marketing advertising strategy, you kind of have to come up with content that'll grab their attention. So, how can you grab or hack the attention and, more importantly, for the lowest cost possible? It's one thing to have the greatest product or service on earth, but if no one knows about it, how can your business succeed, stay relevant, and profitable? Potential customers and clients won't be able to purchase or learn more about your brand or business if they don't know who you are, what products and services you offer, and where you're located. I've been at the mercy of social media's organic, unpaid algorithm to get my content and videos viewed. Unfortunately, in today's landscape, the supply and demand of content requires you to pay to play. Fortunately, the good news is, for now, it's underpriced attention to get your brand or business out there and get the attention of a highly targeted audience. How exactly do we go about doing this? Distribution of relevant and valuable video content to your audience, clients, and customers. Social platforms allow brands and businesses to be their own media companies. The other benefit of video content on social platforms is the shareability and potential for virality. Again, another disclaimer, I would never promise virality. However, the fact that you can share, comment, and repost videos is one of the biggest selling points for video marketing and advertising content. How exactly does one get their potential and existing customers and clients' attention with video content? Here are common examples of types of attention-grabbing and engaging video content. 1, you have entertainment and escapism. Think of a vlog, behind the scenes, reality show type video content. Educational and informational, infomercial style, mix of both entertainment and informational. Pain points, problem solving. Why should they use or buy your products or services? What pain points or problems does it solve? Which ties into number 5, convenience. How does your product or service make their life easier? Number 6, hyper-promotional. This is more for the branding, marketing side of it. However, it could also be used for advertising. And then number 7, event recap and highlight. Again, that's more brand building and marketing. Here are some additional types of video content ideas that fall within the above aforementioned categories. 1, experience what's it like to work, shop, train, buy, visit. That provides some mood, emotion, branding, and marketing. Video testimonials and reviews, clients, customers, influencers, local influencers. And the benefit of those videos are trust building, social proof, which is huge in today's social media climate. Number 3, product, service, sales, promotional offer, new existing products or services, if you have an ongoing sale or one-time sale, limited time offer, or promotion. Number 4, brand and business overview, explainer of who you are, what you do, where you're located, why, experience, knowledge, and again, it can establish yourself as a subject matter expert. Number 5, animation video, animated video of any of the previously mentioned video topics. And then number 6, custom video ideas. And again, it ties into animation as well. It combines any of the above ideas, blends them together. Maybe it's a little bit of everything. No matter what type of video content you produce, the ultimate goal of your video content is provide value to your end consumer by educating, entertaining, and or providing escapism. Keep their attention, awareness, and engaged on a regular and consistent basis with the video content. Once you create multiple types of video content, now what? Essentially, the strategy behind the distribution and paid amplification model is to create as much valuable video content at scale, assess and analyze the types of content your existing and target audience likes and engages with the most, and then amplify that content to existing and new highly targeted audiences. Now I kind of want to jump into a case study example. In this video case study example, we're using T-Dubs Productions. As you can see here, I've highlighted 6 videos of which were recorded during last year's snowboarding season in South Central Pennsylvania. Ultimately, the goal was to produce 6 videos, analyze which ones did the best, and then at the end of the season, amplify the video content that did the best with a highly targeted audience. You can also see which ones at the end of the year, in April, that I decided to amplify. The first one being, it had an organic reach of 1,845. The second video had 2,641. Again, after I analyzed the 6 videos that I had produced over those 4 months, at the end, I went back and analyzed what content did my target audience like the most organically. Then I said, all right, if my target audience liked this content organically, shared it, tagged friends, reposted it, if I throw money behind it, it should extrapolate my reach and impressions on that video. Now, it's one thing to choose what content to boost or amplify, but who are you going to target? In this instance, since it was snowboarding and skiing in South Central Pennsylvania, I chose a geolocation of a 50-mile radius around Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. The age I chose, age range was 30 to 50 plus, gender all, both men and women. And then my detailed targeting, I just wanted to narrow down the potential audience to be people who would like that video content. So who would like videos about skiing and snowboarding? Well, skiers and snowboarders. So I just put that detailed targeting of snowboard, skiing, and snowboarding. Again, just to filter down those people who would be most likely to engage with that content. As you can see in the upper right-hand corner, audience definition, a potential reach of 160,000 people within that 50-mile radius of Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. And then right below that, estimated daily results based off of my $40 5-day budget, which was 928 to 2.7 thousand potential reach, with an estimated through play, so video content, people who actually watched that portion to actually register as a video view, 144 to 416 potential estimated daily results. Here are the end results of both campaigns in the Facebook Ads Manager. As you can see, the ad strategy was through plays. I only paid for 1,986 video views. However, the columns to the right of that, you can see I actually got a reach of, meaning I reached 10,036 unique individuals with both videos and both video campaigns. And more importantly, impressions, I got just over 16,000. So what that is anytime an impression registers as somebody going by it, reach is an actual engagement with that based off of Facebook's metrics. If you go over to the far right column, the frequency, and it'll show you 1.38 and 1.31, that's actually showing you that a person may have been counted as an impression, however, until they actually engaged with that. So the frequency shows if Facebook put a piece of content in front of somebody, they didn't engage with it to register as a reach, they put it back in front of them saying, hey, we know based off of your metrics, your targeted advertising, skiing, snowboarding, you should really like this video, especially how well it was doing with organic and paid distribution. So Facebook, in theory, will re-put that in front of somebody because they're saying, hey, based off our algorithm and our machine learning, we have a really strong feeling that you would actually like this. So sometimes they'll re-put it in front of somebody. That's where you get that frequency score. And again, how you can have more impressions and actually a lower reach. But reach is how many unique people. Impressions could actually have somebody, an individual, counted more than just once. Overall, the benefits of a distribution and paid amplification model. Number one, the one huge benefit of the distribution and paid amplification of video content online is the highly targeted nature of the video amplification. As you could see, I targeted the skiers and snowboarding community because, again, they should like that video. Why target somebody who doesn't like skiing and snowboarding? Number two, you can also test with distribution to find out what people like and want to engage with versus producing expensive video content for them with what you assume they'll want and like and possibly missing the mark. Again, going back to my example, I created 6 pieces of video content over the snowboarding season. At the end of the season, I assessed which video content they liked the most, and then I chose that video content to paid amplification. Number 3, finally, it's one thing to grab someone's attention and awareness. However, if they aren't the intended or interested audience, the interaction will stop there and that money was essentially wasted. Again, had I not targeted people who like skiing and snowboarding, I may have got impressions or reach. However, if they weren't my intended audience, why would I want to boost and pay for that amplification of that video content? Again, that's why there's a benefit of highly targeted content. All right, next I want to jump into a billboard example. Because right now, TV, radio, print, and billboards are overpriced attention. So in this billboard example that I created, we have Kathy's Knitting Corner. Kathy's Knitting Corner wanted to pay for a billboard to bring attention and awareness to her business. So Kathy went to the billboard company and paid for 3 months at $3,000 a month for a grand total of $9,000. The billboard company claims approximately 400,000 impressions per week. After that 3-month billboard campaign, it should give Kathy's Knitting Corner approximately 4.8 million impressions at a total cost of $9,000. When you do those metrics and break them down, that is approximately $1.87 cost per milli. And in advertising, that's saying it costs Kathy's Knitting Corner $1.87 to put her ad in front of 1,000 people. Extrapolate that to the 4.8 million, that's where you get that CPM. However, the above example and results are based off of the following. 1, assuming all traffic saw your sign or billboard. Number 2, all that traffic or potential 4.8 million impressions were of your target audience or potential target audience. And number 3, remember that sign later and take action on it when they're not actually driving. Finally, it's one thing to grab someone's attention and awareness. However, if they aren't the intended or interested audience, that impression and interaction will stop there and that money was essentially wasted. How exactly can you ensure you're reaching your ideal customers and clients online? I showed you how I targeted those people with the skiing and snowboarding video content, but next I'll highlight the 5 most important ways you can highly target your potential customers and clients that are aligned with your business's products and services. Number 1, you can target by location or geolocation. In this example, I'm showing you the back end of Facebook's ad manager platform, and one of the metrics you can target is locations. In the location dropdown, you have these 4 targeting methods: people living in or recently in this location, people living in this location, people recently in this location, and people traveling in this location. Again, you can see which instance you would want. If your business just targets local communities because you're a small local business, then you might want to just do living in this location. If you were targeting somebody maybe traveling on business or a trade show, you could do people recently in this location, or you could also do people recently in this location if you're targeting your competitive clients at certain store locations. And then people traveling to this location, let's talk about that a little bit more. That one in particular I really like if you had a business that was specifically based around travel and tourists or tourism. If your business is 80% tourists and tourism, you can actually use this. Now, I wanted to call out the specific subset of this location-based targeting. People whose most recent location is within the selected area, but whose home is more than 125 miles away. So again, maybe there's a big trade show nearby, and your product or service, your business, let's say a restaurant in this instance, this is a good way to target people who are traveling to that trade show or that conference in that area, but might not know about your restaurant or business. And again, you can target those people traveling, especially if you live in a highly trafficked area that deals with travel tourism and tourists on a regular basis. Also, as I mentioned before, people recently in this location, I really like this metric because, again, you can target your store locations. You could target your competitive store locations because, again, you ultimately have to think, where are your customers? Location, geolocation. If it's not just living in a certain area, maybe they visited, so you're a brewery and you want to target other breweries, so you can get those addresses, import them into Facebook, and then target people who are recently in this location. Number 2, interests and behaviors. This is demographics subset because, as you can see there, you have age, gender, and we can talk about that a little bit later. But under the detailed targeting metric, again, where I chose skiing and snowboarding earlier, I just wanted to give you top level view of all the different ways you can target people. So under the demographics subset, you can see education, financials, life events, parents, relationship, and work. And under those, there's even a plethora of subsets under those: types of education, types of financial classifications, life events, recently engaged, recently married, those type of things. Parents, whether they're a parent in general or of certain age groups, and then relationships and work. You also have interests under that detailed targeted. So there I just wanted to drop down that menu to see at least a top level of the categories underneath interests and how you can target people: business and industry, what they work for, their jobs, entertainment, what types of entertainment they like and what they interact with, family and relationships, fitness and wellness, food and drink, hobbies, activities, shopping, and fashion. Also, under that subset of detailed targeting, you have behaviors. You have anniversaries, consumer classifications, digital activities, expats, mobile device user, mobile devices, device use time, and more categories. Again, the one I want to call out in this instance, it's really interesting, is say you were a mobile app developer or you have an app that you're trying to market or advertise. You can actually target people. Say you only have an Apple iOS app out there, you can just target Apple iOS users, and likewise with Android. Say your app is only available on the Google Play Store for Android devices, you can just target Android users. Again, you're spending your money more efficiently and effectively. And again, just some more under that subset there. You have politics, so you can target based off people's political affiliation, purchase behavior, Ramadan, soccer, and then travel, frequent travelers. Here's just a basic overview example of some detailed targeting that I chose under the demographics and interest base. And again, you can top level just have one, or as I'll explain a little bit later, you can actually layer and target those. That's actually why I have exclude people or narrow audience down there. But more importantly, what I suggest is when you have some time, jump into the Facebook ad platform and just play around and type in stuff and browse through the different classifications, interests, and behaviors in the detailed targeting to really see all the various options of people you can target. And then finally, demographics, jumping back to it. As you can see, you have age ranges. I believe the lowest it goes down to is 13 up to 65 plus. Again, you can target gender, men, women, depending on your business. Is it gender specific? Is it a boutique that's targeted towards women or an exercise class? Then you can target women. If it's something more targeted towards men, you can do that. Or if it's gender neutral, doesn't matter men or women, you can select all. And again, under those demographics, as we previously mentioned, you can layer the additional demographics there. Here's just an example of that. The number 4 way for online targeting is online actions and Facebook pixel events. And this example is lead generation. This business is a business I worked with where they would use paid Google AdWord traffic to drive to a landing page to get people to sign up as leads that they could then sell them on their products and services. As you can see here, we implemented Facebook Pixel so that we can target those customers, and more specifically, as you can see here, we had plenty of leads land on the page, but then we only had a certain percentage of those leads actually complete the registration and see the thank you page. In this instance, we can highly target those people who landed on the page but didn't complete the form, or if we want to target people who recently completed the form with some further blog posts, we could do that. There's possibilities are truly endless when it comes to Facebook pixels. And we can also do custom lookalike audiences and custom audience later. We'll talk about that. This is another Facebook pixel page that I wanted to show and highlight, and this one is on the e-commerce side. And again, as you can see, the events listed there, you have page view, view content, add to cart, complete registration, initiate checkout, and purchase. And again, what Facebook Pixel does is it tracks all those website actions so that you can target, retarget, and create custom audiences based off of those actions. And again, to spend your money wiser, more efficiently, and more effectively. And then finally, 5, custom audiences and lookalike audiences. You can do this off of a multitude of different ways. As you can see here, the sources may come from website, customer lists, so an email list, or if you have a customer client list, app activity. Again, if you had an app, you could implement the pixel code or other additional stuff, online or offline events, and then again, offline activity. Again, if you have something from a point of sale or other offline activity or data, you can input that. On the Facebook side, there's Facebook sources. You can actually do video content. Again, why I wanted to talk about video marketing and advertising content. You can actually then retarget people based off of certain percentages of video viewed. So if they watch 25% of the video, or 50%, 75%, or the whole video, that person is more likely engaged in a potential or existing new customer or client. So again, a benefit of using the video content, huge asset there that Facebook allows you to create custom audiences and lookalike audiences based off of that. You can also do it off your Instagram business profile, lead forms, events, instant experiences, and then Facebook page, followers, likes, etc. Here's just a look behind the scenes at the lookalike audience creation. Again, choose your lookalike source. You select your audience size. You can do a number of audiences. 0 to 1 is the most targeted that will look very similar to your audience. Again, almost like a clone audience. Here's just an example I used off of the e-commerce website that I previously mentioned in their pixel data. In this instance, we used the purchase lookalike audience off of that data subset of their pixel information. Below that, we just chose the United States because that's where that customer is for that e-commerce. And then below that for section 4, audience size, we created 3 subsets of audiences, 0 to 1%, 1% to 3, and then 3% to 6. Again, the benefit of doing this is we initially target 0 to 1%, that 2.4 million people, because again, they're the ones that look most like our audience. And then as you scale out, the 1 to 3 is a little less likely to look exactly like your target audience or your custom audience based off of that data. And then the 3 to 6 would be 7 to 7.1 million people. And again, that's as you scale out. So initially we'd want to work with that 0 to 1%. Then as the results come in and we can retarget and refine, then we could jump to that 4.7 million, 1 to 3%. And then as we scale and results are coming in and it looks like it's doing well, you could then scale to that 3 to 6% audience. More importantly, out of those 5 that we just mentioned, you can actually layer those targeting methods. To get even more targeted, you can layer the previously mentioned options in multiple or various ways to truly hone in on your target audience. The targeting options and possibilities are truly endless. The most important part of all this highly targeted attention and awareness is the fact that you'll be more efficiently and effectively spending your marketing and advertising budget. Again, going back to that billboard example, the billboard company claims potential impressions. However, we don't know if they're of our target audience. You can almost guarantee the people you're targeting would be interested in your product or service, brand or business. Finally, the best part of it all, video view campaigns objectives. The video view campaign objective allows you to run ads to that highly targeted audience, and you only pay for people who actually view and engage with your video. I kind of mentioned this very briefly in the video case study example I did on skiing snowboarding, but I want to dive into and explain this a little bit more. If people scroll by or don't watch and engage with a certain percentage of your video, you don't pay for that video view. How awesome is that? Not only will you get additional reach and impressions for your brand or business with the video content, but you'll do so without actually having to pay for it. It's almost too good to be true, but it isn't. I've helped myself and clients get video views for pennies on the dollar. I've got as little as 2-cent and 4-cent video views on multiple campaigns where I've got videos that have had 13,000 reach and 6.9 thousand video views, 9,000 reach with 4,000 video views, 8,000, just under 8,000 reach and 3.8 thousand video views, highly targeted audience views for as little as $40 for the total ad budget across a 5-day video view campaign. Remember, with Facebook's ad platform, the more money you spend, the larger your audience gets. That's more highly targeted views, reach, impressions, and engagements. Don't forget, you can also retarget that highly targeted and interested audience who engage with a certain percentage of your video. So you could retarget, again, as I previously mentioned, somebody who watched 25%, 50% of your video, 75%, or 100% of that video. And again, now you're working with a highly targeted audience who's warmer and more interested in your products or services. The worst part of this distribution and paid amplification strategy is it won't be around forever. As these social media platforms grow and mature, more and more marketers and advertisers will flock to the platforms, driving the cost to market and advertise up, and the cost efficiency and effectiveness won't remain the same forever. What other platforms allow brands and businesses to highly target and cost efficiently and effectively spend and track their video marketing and advertising budget? However, Google and YouTube is the same, and a lot of these carry over to that platform, especially for pre-roll video view ads. So, just to recap the distribution and paid amplification strategy I just talked about, number 1, create as much valuable and engaging content for your existing audience and potential audience at scale. Number 2, distribute and post it for free on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube for about 1 to 6 plus months. And again, that time frame could change, especially if you already have existing video content and video assets out there. You could already hit the ground running. Number 3, assess, analyze, and determine what content your audience likes and engages with the most based off of post metrics and insights. And again, you can see those on the back end of your page, whether it be a Facebook page or even YouTube channel. Go in there, see which ones have the most views, comments, likes, engagements, shares, reposts. Again, that's how you can assess which ones are doing the best. Number 4, utilize 5 most important targeting options to begin to hone in on your highly targeted customers, clients, and audience. Number 5, pay Facebook to amplify that video content to a highly targeted audience. Number 6, assess the results and success metrics of the campaigns based off your brand's and business's needs and goals. And number 7, ideate, iterate, and optimize the video content and campaigns on a regular and ongoing basis. So, the last question I have for you is, what are you waiting for? If you're interested in learning more, please contact me to see how I can help your business leverage video marketing and advertising strategies and solutions to help your brand and business today. Again, if you have any questions, please feel free to let me know. Send me an email, direct message, comment on this video. And finally, thanks again for your time.